So previously we looked on some primitives inside the Vue. Right now what I want to do is look at materials. We did assign a few materials as we was working to our primitives. So let's go right now create a sphere. And right here, if we look on our right side, as we looked before, we have our object properties, we have our object positioning and sizes, camera control, and we have our world browser. So right now what I want to focus on this area where we can work a little bit with our object and mostly with materials. So you notice we have a properties where we can edit material. On top is actually edit selected material. So if we click right there, multiple, we can see it. So we can open our material editor. We can edit all materials. If it's this object, have more than one materials, we can apply to that. We also can load it our materials from collections, and collections come with Vue, or you can, for example, purchase some other ones or have it with previously versions. We also can go ahead and randomize our properties and preview options. Preview options help us how we can see those materials we apply to our element object. So also we have the scale. We have it also different type of the coloring we can apply to that material specifically. We can hide the material from render. We can render with occlusion by object, ignore object. We also have property to indirect lighting. So all of these elements, and let's go just don't cast shadow, receive shadow, all of these additional properties we can access inside each material. But let you know, this is kind of flexible and intuitive after we start working with this. Don't worry right now if you overwhelm. But what we're going to do is open this first material. And we're doing this by loading. So we're going to click on this icon. And as we click, we open Vue object browsers. Actually, this is material browsers. So inside you can see we have all these different collections. On the top, we have our basic collection. Next, we have our landscape collection. And you know what? Sometimes if it's too big, remember you can minimize them so we can view more of them, and we can increase size of our windows so we can preview. Okay, next we have our ecosystem. We'll look on this later. We have a different type of materials with layers: rocks, liquid, glasses, metal, displacement, subsurface scattering, volumetric, pictorial, organic, and some additional. Some of those elements maybe you don't have it if, for example, if you have your own collection. Like right here, let me all skew, and for example, you know, you may have this one, but I have my own collection and maybe you don't have it. Also notice you have it new from the substance that is allowed you PBR type of materials. So from all these materials, we can actually go ahead and select some of them and apply to material. To do this, we just go to material, let's go to metal, select, for example, rusted paint, and you can see right here we applied to our selected object this material. The material, when we applied, it's got many properties. We can access this by double time click on this icon of material or click on the gear, and right here we have our material editor. Currently we advanced mode. Most likely when you start first time you come in this basic mode, and this is simplified, so it's color, bump map, transparency. However, if you want to work with a Vue on a little bit more deeper level, I recommend you to switch to advanced type of material editor. It does get overwhelmed just on the beginning, but after short kind of experience, you will feel very familiar and you feel nice with this flexibility. So we'll look on this material editor later because you can notice it's got a lot of different properties and options, and we're going through all of them. We're going through all of these different type of materials and through all the properties for all of this type of materials. So we have a lot of ways to go around this. Okay, let's close this one. But overall, right here, we can preview our object and preview materials for our object. For now, if you're interested, you can just go ahead and start playing around. So you can create different primitives. And you can just go ahead, browse through the library and assign different materials to the object and render them. See how do they look. So how the lights will bounce it, how the bump map or displacement will apply it. So you can also create all this interesting different effects by just working with the materials.